Have you ever wondered just how close we are to biblical prophecies unfolding right before our eyes? Today, we're diving deep into a topic that many whisper about, but few truly understand. The 7 signs that the mark of the beast could become mandatory, possibly sooner than we think. And stick around, because the second sign is already active in our world right now. Let's get started. The first sign is the global infrastructure. Think about it. The technology needed for a worldwide system of identification and control isn't science fiction anymore. It's our reality. The internet connects nearly every corner of the globe. Satellites can track locations with pinpoint accuracy. Data centers are capable of storing and processing unimaginable amounts of information. This vast, interconnected network forms the backbone for any system that would need to monitor and manage every single person on the planet. For the first time in human history, the physical and digital infrastructure required for a global system of control is completely built and operational. It's the invisible framework waiting for a purpose. Now for the second sign, and this is the one that's happening as we speak. The move toward a cashless society. How many of you still carry a significant amount of cash? For many, our wallets have been replaced by our phones. We use digital apps, and we transfer money with the click of a button. It's undeniably convenient. But what happens when physical cash is phased out entirely? Your every purchase, every transaction, every donation becomes a digital record. This isn't a far-off concept. Countries like Sweden are already nearly cashless. Central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, are being tested and developed by governments all over the world, including right here in the United States, with projects like the Digital Dollar Project. These digital currencies would give central authorities unprecedented control over your finances. They could potentially freeze your funds, or even dictate what you can and cannot buy. The shift is subtle, happening under the banner of progress and convenience. But it's a critical step toward a system where economic participation can be granted or denied digitally. The third sign is the conditioning of the public to accept digital passes for access and freedom of movement. We all recently experienced a global event that introduced the idea of health passports or vaccine passes. Regardless of your views on the situation, the framework itself is what's significant. We saw a system where your ability to travel, to enter a restaurant, or even to go to work was tied to a digital status on your phone. It was a large-scale social experiment that proved people would, when faced with enough pressure, accept a digital system that dictates their level of participation in society. This has created a psychological precedent. The idea that our freedoms can be conditional and managed through a scannable code is no longer a foreign concept. It's a recent memory. The technology and the public compliance have been tested and proven effective. Sign number 4 is the increasing promotion of microchips for human use. What once sounded like a plot from a spy movie is now being marketed as the next leap in convenience. Companies are developing microchips that can be implanted in your hand to unlock doors, store medical information, or make payments with a simple wave. It's presented as the ultimate life hack. Forget your keys? No problem. Need to pay for groceries, but left your wallet at home? Just scan your hand. While the current applications seem harmless and voluntary, this trend normalizes the idea of merging our bodies with technology for identification and access. It's a small, optional step now, but it paves the way for a future where such technology could become standardized and eventually required. It's the ultimate convergence of your physical body and your digital identity. The fifth sign is the expansion and popularization of social credit systems. Most of us have heard about this system in China, where citizens are scored based on their behavior. Good behavior, like following traffic rules or praising the government, earns you points. Bad behavior, like jaywalking or posting dissenting opinions online, loses you points. Your score then determines your ability to get a loan, book a flight, or even where your children can go to school. But don't think this is just an issue for a country halfway across the world. Elements of this are seeping into Western societies through different means. Think about your credit score, which already dictates your financial life. Consider the platform and cancel culture, where people can lose their livelihoods for expressing unpopular opinions. Insurance companies are offering discounts for installing tracking devices in your car to monitor your driving. These are all fragmented pieces of a social credit system. where your behavior is constantly monitored, judged, and used to either reward or penalize you. It's a system of social engineering designed to enforce conformity. This brings us to the sixth sign, which is deeply troubling for people of faith. The recharacterization of Christians and other devout religious groups, increasingly holding to traditional, biblical beliefs, is being portrayed in mainstream culture and media as extreme, intolerant, or even dangerous. Those who stand firm on biblical teachings about life, marriage, and morality are often labeled as hateful or as a threat to social progress. This narrative seeks to isolate people of faith and paint them as outsiders, as the other. In history, before a group is marginalized, they are first relayed. This shift in public perception is a critical step in justifying future restrictions on religious freedom. When a group is seen as an obstacle to a unified, progressive, global society, it becomes easier to justify measures to control or silence them. The Bible itself warns that in the last days, followers of Christ will be hated for their beliefs, and we are seeing the cultural groundwork for this being laid right now. And finally, the seventh sign. We are just one major global event away from full implementation. Imagine a crisis, a massive economic collapse, another global health scare, a large-scale cyber attack that cripples our infrastructure, or a major escalation in global conflict. In times of extreme fear and chaos, people are willing to give up freedoms for the promise of safety and security. A major crisis would be the perfect justification to roll out a mandatory, global system to fix the problem. A system that requires a universal digital identity to access food, banking, and basic services. It would be presented not as an instrument of control, but as the only logical solution to restore order. All the pieces we've talked about, the infrastructure, the cashless technology, the digital pesos, the microchips, the social scoring, and the silencing of dissent would converge in that moment. The solution offered will be a system that promises to bring everything and everyone under one unified banner of control. And in their desperation, many may willingly accept it. So what does this all mean for us? This isn't about fear-mongering. It's about being aware, discerning, and prepared. It's about understanding the times we live in through the lens of Scripture. The Bible tells us not to be afraid, but to be watchful and to place our ultimate trust not in the systems of this world, but in God. Our hope is not in avoiding these events, but in knowing the one who holds the future in his hands. For those of us who believe, our response should be one of prayer, of strengthening our faith, and of boldly and lovingly sharing the hope that we have with others. The world may be shifting in ways that seem uncertain, but our foundation is secure. Thank you for watching. If this video has made you think, please consider sharing it with someone who needs to hear this message. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more content that helps us navigate these challenging times with faith and wisdom. God bless.